What's up, Angela?
Hi.
How's your Wednesday so far?
I have a delay in the.
Yes, you're going to have a delay. So if you want me to unplug you, I can and plug you directly in the other. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, because I don't think I can deal with this.
Okay, no problem. How are you?
I'm good.
I'll just rewire you right now.
The delay is so strange.
I know. Well, that we were out of sync. So hopefully we're in sync for everybody. Hello, everyone. Erica's here. Guilty Angel is here. I think, we are live on TikTok now. This is going to be our last live on TikTok, Angela. This is it.
Is that true?
Yeah, this is it.
You pulled the plug?
We're saying goodbye, TikTok. So I hope some of our regulars will come in on TikTok to say goodbye. But last night, so TikTok gave us permission to get stream keys from this service called Restream, I should say. And with that, we were able to stream to two different places using one streamer, which is mine. Totally cool. I was like, okay, this is going to be great.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. So then I did it. And then in the middle of last night's live, for reasons completely unknown to me, TikTok revoked our stream key. So when they took the stream key away, it just botched up the whole stupid live and screwed up all of my equipment and just sent everything into a mix. So for whatever reason, I love TikTok. I do, but for whatever reason, I cannot for the life of me understand why.
They make it difficult.
They just don't love me back.
Oh.
So I'm going to continue to post our content there. We're not leaving TikTok, but we are going to change the stream, and we're only going to do the stream on that big red platform that they don't like us to talk about either. So if you'll remind me throughout the night, I'd love to tell people about it.
Yeah, great.
Also, something I'd love you to remind me if we get a crowd tonight, but we're about to hit 500 subscribers on the big red platform that we're not supposed to talk about.
Well, that's another reason why TikTok is a little bit problematic, right?
And I promised...
There's so much you're not allowed to talk about.
That's right. And I promised $5. I'm going to give away $5 when we get to...
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, 500.
That's fun.
So we could get there tonight. We could get there by tomorrow. But, and it seems like a slow little mountain. They call this the invisible growth stage.
Who does?
YouTube people, sometimes my stupid things will go off and you guys will hear my desktop and it's like, algorithm on. So, I'm trying to study YouTube a little bit to grow the live. And
I've tried to do that before. It was the most annoying part, the most annoying, like learning program I'd ever tried to put myself on. Because you have to listen to really obnoxious people who know a lot.
Yeah, it's a different crowd for sure. But anyway, so I learned some stuff, and so we're going to be focused entirely on YouTube, and so hopefully, in terms of the live only though, we're gonna be putting out the podcast on Spotify. It's obviously going to be on YouTube. We're also going to do YouTube long form for people who just don't want to bother with sitting around and listening to us gab for 2 straight hours. Mm-hmm. We're gonna edit it up and put it in long form on the channel. And
so how come that you're
lots of plans?
Why is it that you're not just going to continue to go live on TikTok the way that you are now?
Well, because
without all that stuff. Because
TikTok isn't just they're not. So a part of the problem is that they want me to, and they want creators to use their equipment. They want us to use either their studio, which is like OBS, a broadcasting software, which I'm using something entirely different, and I don't have any intention on rerouting it. Not to mention that TikTok doesn't multi-stream anyway. I'm
just talking about what you're doing now today.
Yeah.
What's the reason why you don't want to continue doing what you're doing today?
Well, I'm giving you the answer.
Oh, because they make you use something, but you're not currently using that.
Well, allow me to answer the question. So they're sort of forcing us into their ecosystem, their whole entire ecosystem. And the real problem is that they also have the most strict rules compared to the two platforms in terms of things we say. Like, for example, I have been flagged and I have a strike on my TikTok account for hate speech.
Oh,
and that's an impossibility.
I know.
It's an actual fucking impossibility.
Never have we ever.
No, not in my life. Absolutely never. But I may have talked about it, or I may have something I may have talked about may have seemed like that to the algorithm. And when I complained and said, no, that wasn't the case, They rejected it. They were like,
So if you get enough of those accidental strikes,
they'll just pull your live. So I don't want to I don't want to build a crowd, of people that we, love and adore and hang out with, and then, have it pulled out from under us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's that.
Well, luckily everybody can find you on YouTube. You still have the correct link in your bio on TikTok?
Yeah, we have to say all this all over again because we only have one person here, and we only have 2 people on TikTok on YouTube. We might have like a real slow night. Delicate's not coming tonight, by the way.
Did you hear my question?
I think I heard part of it, and just for some reason didn't answer it. But please,
the link in your bio, is that correct?
Yes, the link in my TikTok bio is the correct link for sure.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
that's good. People can find you.
So hopefully some folks will show up and we can have a chat. My headline, my headline is basically me trying to get just the people who know me to come to TikTok. Like I didn't put any kind of like,
salacious.
No, like yeah, right. Any kind of like, Blake Lively is a bad person. And Guilty Angel's like, what the F with the hate speech? It was the weirdest thing. I have no idea. I don't even know what I said, but I know that the night that they said it, we were covering the Karen Reed trial.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, I appealed, and then they responded with, nope, it's being held up. I was like, okay.
Well, that's so strange that they're not quoting what they heard you say so that you can avoid doing the same mistake again. It's so strange.
Well, do I want to is the real question. Do I want to walk around, these really stringent live rules? I guess they want lives to be something that we're not. I think they want lives to be like about having arguments with people or begging people for money, or I don't know how it goes. But the lives I've seen or like doing things like interesting things. Like I've seen some interesting lives, don't get me wrong, but they're like, we're not that. We're like a podcast. And so, maybe podcasts are perfect for that. Mandy's here. Hi, Mandy. Been great. Mandy knows that, knows us on the big red other channel. So we were just saying, Mandy, that we're
tonight's the last night on TikTok.
Tonight's our last night on TikTok. I'm so sad to say.
Yeah.
Because it's also just like they're holding us back in our speech, but also the problem with TikTok, it's just on the lives. Like I'm gonna post content there. But if you want to hang out with us and you want to chat with us and you want to be a part of the live that way, which we'd love for you to be, then you got to scooch over to the big red platform.
You got to do a little scooch.
You got to do a little scooch. Come over there, hang out with us there. And I'm sorry, my voice is really hoarse today for some reason.
You ate too much wasabi?
It could be the wasabi.
Dale made us sushi tonight. Very fancy.
It was good, right?
Mm-hmm.
My rolling, my first roll was real bad, but then I got my stuff together, like an athlete does.
Just like an athlete.
Just like an athlete. They have like a bad moment and they're like, no, I'm not going to have another bad moment. I'm going to get better.
That's not me.
I improve after every rep.
You got to get your head in the game.
That's right.
We're rolling sushi.
We're rolling sushi here, and it's going to be delicious.
This isn't taquitos. This is sushi.
Get that tamale shit out of here.
Let's go. That's how the athletes do that?
Yeah.
They fucking holler that.
I think you're supposed to say, let's fucking go. And I think you're supposed to do something like this. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, exactly. I have to keep it down, though, because I don't want to get this dog all excited. She's really noisy when she wants to play.
That's true. We don't have to get her all hopped up.
Guilty Angel said, that's really nice that Dale cooks for you both. I agree.
Yeah.
It is so nice.
Yeah, well,
It's very nice. He's my trad wife.
And she's not even Halle Berry. Did you see, that guy came out, whatever his name is, David, whatever his name is.
David Justice, yeah.
David Justice. Is he a baseball player? Is that who that is?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was he had,
I
he
remember
was
the
worth
baseball player.
millions, $10 million,
Yeah.
$100 million,
Yeah.
whatever. At the time that he was trying to get Halle Berry
To be a housewife. A traditional housewife.
A housemaid.
A housewife rearing children.
Not just a housewife.
Rolling the
housemaid.
oats.
Because she could have been a housewife if she wanted to, but she does not.
He probably told her that if she, if she hooks up with him, she gets a whole new washing board.
He was talking about... God. He was talking about cooking and cleaning, not like I would love her to be the attentive parent to our children so that I can pursue my career. No, he was like cooking and cleaning specifically.
Not very motherly.
He wants a maid.
He did say she wasn't very motherly, which is like, okay. So, but where I was going with this is that the deluge of dudes saying, dude, the amount of cooking I would do for that woman, the amount of, you know.
I would wear my French maid costume
Yeah.
every day.
Exactly.
How would you like your eggs, sweetie?
Over medium, you got that. And they will be perfect.
Guilty Angel said, I absolutely cannot cook anything.
Oh, man.
It takes practice. You also need a lot of gear, too. I think that's something that people don't really admit.
You need good placements in the seventh house.
It's not like you can just be like a...
Or no, in Taurus.
Yeah. Yeah, you got lucky that way. It's not like you can just be like instantly good at cooking. It requires some things, you know?
It does. It absolutely does.
You have to have an equipped kitchen, which is kind of a pain. But once it's equipped, oh man, you can do everything.
Yeah, you really can.
Drew's News is asking, what did you guys think of the David Justice interview? We only heard that one clip that everybody was sharing everywhere because it sounded so ridiculous. I really don't know what else he said in that interview.
No, I know.
Nor do I care, because why are you bringing up your exes of 30 years ago just to like criticize them? Like, come on, dude.
It almost feels like somebody's
she does not think about you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Halle Berry's not sitting around and wondering, you know, why it didn't work, you know?
Yeah, it's so strange to...
If she did, she has her own story, that's for sure.
I know. It must be weird to be a celebrity and be like, wow, any day that memoir about how I am in bed is going to come out. Like, they don't have any privacy. No. Remember Justin Timberlake apparently
Well, that's not true.
That's
not true. They do have that kind of privacy. They do have a right to that kind of privacy, actually. So there are rules about that. You can't just write your
Why are there so many
sexual
tell-alls?
relationships in detail without, you know, well, there might be limits to it, but I may be mistaken
There's
here.
so many like rock and roll and Hollywood tell-alls, right? Where it's like the groupie tells all.
Yes.
That I just assumed anybody could do that if they wanted to be mean.
I don't think so. I think you can do, I think there's a certain amount or a certain level of it that you might be able to get away with. But I don't think that you can just start spilling the beans about what went on in the bedroom. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I genuinely don't know why anybody would want to be famous. It sounds like the worst. It sounds like a curse.
It used to be the consequence of something. Like fame wasn't the thing you wanted. Fame was the
infamy?
thing you ended up with. Oh. No. Like fame was like you went after these kinds of things for the money, for the art, for the whatever. You know, like speaking about acting. You know, I think the motivation wasn't. I think it wasn't until the silver screen that fame became a real factor. I mean, fame was a factor certainly in terms of reputation, right? But, you know, back in the day before there were any TVs, they only knew what you looked like if you showed up. You know, there were, you know, print newspapers, so they might have gotten images of you in some ways, maybe in the late 19th, early 20th century. But before all that, you know, your fame was your name and reputation. And, you know, so it wasn't something, so there was no, like you could go anywhere, hang out, and, you know, and barely ever be noticed unless somebody knew who you were and then told the others, that's the person. Do you know what I mean? Must have been easy to impersonate back then, too, huh?
Oh, yeah, I bet.
I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. Prove me wrong. You like walk around with your papers.
That was really funny that happened to you. That you were just at a house party and talking to somebody who knew about your previous work and somebody else overheard and they were like, oh, come on. You're telling us you produced a Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
Yeah, exactly. That
He did
happen.
not believe you.
It was a really funny moment, actually.
And you're like, I get it. I mean, why would somebody who produced a Leonardo DiCaprio movie be here at a house party in a small town in Georgia? It doesn't make any sense to me either.
Right. It was really random that I was there. It was a stupid thing to do, to just be like even mentioning it.
Maybe that's a good segue to one of our topics that we wanted to talk about today.
Funny you should say that because Guilty Angel just said, hey, Dale, I loved it when you hip checked Leo.
Yeah.
I did. I hip checked that dude right into the blinds.
Yeah, dude, he fucking asked for it though. What the fuck?
Well, he did. I asked him to move multiple times.
I mean, something was going to happen. You were going to have to like ask a lawyer to help or, you know, do something. He was just trying to
I had enough
make
of that fucking guy in that moment. Like
I know.
was like,
He wasn't going to face any consequences either. He was just trying to make your life difficult in a little annoying way.
It just drives me crazy how like superficial his so-called power is. Like this guy's not powerful. Like he's not. Leonardo DiCaprio, the man, is not a powerful man at all. You know, everything he has is bestowed upon him by studios, millionaires, and fans.
No, I completely agree that power is only ever like allowed, given, permitted,
right,
upheld by others. It is never like
it can be taken.
It's
and
never
then
like
controlled
intrinsic
violently, I
in the
suppose.
person who claims to be the powerful one.
Right.
It's always like you could take it away just as well as everybody just agrees somebody's powerful. Everybody could just agree that they're not, and then poof, it's done.
And then poof, it's done.
Yeah.
So Leonardo DiCaprio, he has spilled his regrets.
He's a cover girl.
He's a cover girl.
Esquire.
He's on the cover.
Yes.
Oh.
This is their cover story.
What a privilege.
On Esquire Magazine.
How lucky for... they must be selling off the shelves.
Leonardo DiCaprio unfiltered.
Oh.
It is filtered.
If you really want something unfiltered, I got a book for you. It's called Too Real, a Hollywood memoir. I'm trying to get this straight, you guys. Too Real, a Hollywood memoir. I wrote it. It's definitely unfiltered.
You didn't bring it in here, huh?
Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, that's true. I wanted to read you. This is so interesting. Oh, will you grab it for us?
Yes.
Would you mind?
Do you want me to set this up?
Yeah, go ahead, set it up. Yes, please.
Okay, so he did this interview. Apparently, the only way that DiCaprio will ever do interviews, because everybody, I think, knows that he is deeply distrustful of press and like entertainment media.
Right.
So he does not sit for interviews. He doesn't get interviewed by people because he has to be able to control what they say.
Right.
Because it would be too easy for an interviewer to just be like, "Hey, so what about that diamond foundry?"
Yeah, exactly.
That's completely, devastating an entire ecosystem that you are paying for.
It's so he's,
hey, what about all those yachts that you're on? That's kind of not environmentalist.
He's doing straight up.
There's
like,
so many of these.
What a wall! What
Yeah.
a wall he has built. Literally,
How
have
about
the
you're building a hotel in Israel? Is that aligned with your values you've been talking about for the
What's
last?
this book called Too Real? And who is Emily Foster?
Who is Emily Foster? Just asking.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no,
we'll get
guy,
to the promotion of your film in a minute. I just wanted to clear up some questions first.
He can't sit with an interview with a reporter. There's no way.
Hey,
And
how come none of your girlfriends are ever over 25? That's weird. Everybody's been curious. Maybe you could clear the air.
So Paul Thomas Anderson, the director of his movie, conducted his interview for what would be
Yes.
or what will be the foundation of his press going forward for Leo season.
So this is how they set up explaining how this interview was conducted.
And so what I'm going to do, by the way, is because this is very interesting, because in this interview, Leo reveals his biggest regret in his career, and it's not Dawn's Plum. I fucking told you. Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Esquire Magazine says this summer, DiCaprio and Paul Thomas Anderson had two conversations, one in Leo's kitchen and another over the phone.
Yeah.
They recorded their talks and gave the transcripts to Esquire, which we edited and condensed. We gave them some prompts, some of which they indulged, others not so much. But the result is a rare glimpse into the minds of two of Hollywood's most daring and original men.
Fuck is daring about them? I just want to know what's daring about them. That they spend a lot of money? What is daring? That they build diamond foundries? Like, I'm trying to figure out what's daring.
I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson's work is original, and I guess making original work in a system is daring.
I mean, I say whatevs. Like, he made original work and people liked it, so we got to make more. That's how it fucking goes. He's a really good director.
I know, but
Honestly,
you sound like a hater.
I'm not a hater, but
They
I'm
can
trying
be
to figure
daring
out
and original.
What's fucking daring about it? Make these guys out to heroes. They're not fucking heroes. They're not heroes. They're not
Daring and
daredevils.
original doesn't
They're not
mean
courageous.
heroes.
They're fucking filmmakers. They're playing. They all know that. They all know this. They all admit it. You literally go to Hollywood and they're like, I literally get paid to play.
No, I know.
Fucking dare. I was in the sandbox, man. It was my fucking most courageous moment. It's like South Park.
Your hate is directed at the Esquire writer.
I'm sorry. It's too early to react this.
He said they also titled it Leonardo DiCaprio Unfiltered, and it's extraordinarily filtered.
Yeah, he's the most filtered. How could it be unfiltered if he won't even sit with a fucking reporter. He won't even sit with a writer.
I know.
It's so unfiltered.
So your beef is with how they set this up. This what are you supposed to write about?
He's
not even your interview.
He's so fucking courageous. He won't sit with a writer. Mr. fucking daring.
Yeah.
I dare you to fucking sit with a writer, buddy.
Anyway, here is the first
right.
question.
Okay.
First question to Paul Thomas Anderson is asking DiCaprio, is any regrets? And his answer is, I'll say it even though you're here. My biggest regret is not doing Boogie Nights. It was a profound movie of my generation. I can't imagine anyone but Mark Wahlberg in it. When I finally got to see that movie, I just thought it was a masterpiece. It's ironic that you're the person asking that question, but it's true. It's not ironic.
That's not what irony is, but hey, keep going.
Yeah, then they just continue.
Well,
they do a little chit chat.
So there was a moment that's in the book that is specific to this moment, actually, because it was rare. I was there.
Get the reference? Get it?
So Angela, who has just walked away, she's gonna go and she's gonna get she's gonna go and get the book, and I'm gonna read it. It's just a very brief little like totally brief moment, but I thought I'd share it with you. For those of you who haven't read the book, by the way, once again, for those of you who don't know, I wrote a book behind me called Two Real Hollywood Memoir. And once we get 500 followers on the tube, I am sending 5 signed books to whomever would want such a thing. So yeah, I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, and we'll probably dole those things out tomorrow. So you'd have to come see us on the live tomorrow too. So I guess I'm trying to trap you is basically what I'm saying. Is just trying to trap you. One more thing, Angela.
So I thought it was so
interesting. I
interesting.
think I have glasses, actually. I'm so sorry.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Do you want me to read it?
No. Let me read it. It has to be read by the author.
Okay.
So I just thought I'd read it. I'm sorry. I was planning to be prepared for this, and I am not. I think there should be somebody in the bedroom. Too real, guys. We're talking bedroom and everything. Let me see something here.
No. Where are the other ones?
The page number. Page number is 401. Just grab anything that's on the table.
No, tell me where to find your glasses.
In the living room in front of me, yeah. It's page 401, Guilty Angel. For those who would like to follow, very short. It's kind of cool. This is actually a really cool scene. I'm excited to read this for you. So the premise of the scene, obviously, is that Leonardo DiCaprio has declared that his biggest regret is not doing Boogie Nights. And in my book, I recalled the following, which occurred at the Formosa, I believe. Hang on, let me get my proof of my age on my eyes. Let me get Angela back on the scene. Hello, Angela. Hello. All right, here we go. I'm going to read this to you guys. This is more difficult with this new setup. Okay, here it is. This is easy, actually. So Leo got back from... So this is from Two Real Hollywood Memoir, to show you guys the book. Everybody sees it? There you go. Okay, cool. Leo got back from filming Romeo and Juliet sometime in late April or early May. We were at Formosa for happy hour. It had been a while since we were all together, so spirits were high. Leo tapped the tabletop between the drinks. Listen for a second. I need some advice from you guys. I got to make a choice between 2 movies. Fucking rub it in, why don't you? Kevin chuckled. I'm not bragging. It's my situation. Leo held up one finger. Paul Thomas Anderson is doing a movie called Boogie Nights, and the script is incredible. He did Die Hard, right? Said Scott. Leo nodded, and Scott continued. I liked it. What's this about?
He did who? Did you misread
Hard
that?
8. What did I say?
Die Hard. I was like,
Paul Thomas Anderson.
He did not.
Die Hard.
Is that a typo?
I'm not bragging. It's my situation. Leo held up one finger. Paul Thomas Anderson is doing a movie called Boogie Nights, and the script is incredible. He did Hard 8, right? Said Scott. Leo nodded, and Scott continued. I liked it. What's this about? It's loosely based on the life of John Holmes. Oh, dude, that's going to be awesome, said Kevin. Who's John Holmes? I said. You don't know who John Holmes is? Said Kevin with a stunned look on his face. No. Johnny fucking Wad? Is that the same person? I chuckled. Kevin chuckled. John Holmes. He had the biggest dick in Corn in the 70s. It was absurdly large, said Scott. I turned to Leo. So you would use a prosthetic or? Ha ha ha, very funny. It's not a bad question, said Kevin. You can't make a movie about the biggest dick in show business and not fucking show it, right? That's what I'm saying, I said. Can we stop talking about penises, please? Said Leo. Kevin scowled. You're the one who brought it up, bro. The other film is with James Cameron. Leo flared his eyebrows. Just take that one, said Kevin. It doesn't matter what it's about. It's already a massive hit. It's a movie about the Titanic. He's calling it the Titanic, actually. That doesn't sound good, said Scott. We already know how it ends. How's the script? Leo shook his head. Not good. It's not the worst thing I've ever read, but it's not nearly as good as Boogie Nights. The problem with Boogie Nights is it's so small, and I'm bombing with small movies. Titanic is a huge studio movie, which I've never done before. So should I do the film with the much better screenplay, or go with James Cameron, who never misses at the box office? Take Boogie Nights, bro, said RD. Why? Said Leo. The script's great. Hard Eight was great. He's obviously up and coming. You don't want Schwarzenegger's career, bro. You want Pacino's, De Niro's, Joe Dane's. Who the fuck is Joe Dane? You know, Joe Dane, my mother's client. He redid our floors. Oh, yeah, bro, you did a pretty good job, muttered Kevin. Leo shook his head. You're so fucking random, RD. I would go in the other direction, said Kevin. James Cameron is a proven genius. You can't top his movies like Terminator and Aliens. This is an easy decision, if you ask me. Kevin nodded at Kevin. You really don't think he should do the movie with the best script? Kevin shook his head. He doesn't know if Paul Thomas Anderson is going to make a good movie, but we all know James Cameron will. That dude knows what he's doing. Leo nodded in my direction. What about you? I shrugged. If you want to be in a movie that makes $200 million, do Titanic. If you want awards and prestige, then do the other one. What's it called again? Boogie Nights. Incredible title, I said. Why can't I think of cool shit like that? What's your gut telling you to do, said RD. Leo smirked. Boogie Nights. Follow your gut, bro, said RD. Boogie Nights all the way. Despite most of us favoring Boogie Nights, including Leo chose Titanic, and filming was to start almost immediately in Mexico City. No, it wasn't Mexico City. All right, there it is.
What was the page number of that?
401. I don't know. Now I closed it.
Guilty Angel was asking to read along, and I only saw after you started.
I told her.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome.
Anyway, so how cool is that? Well, first of all, Artie Robb, and this is my memory of that conversation, as best as I can recall, all these years later. But fucking Artie Robb absolutely was like all for Boogie Nights. And I really know what the fuck I was talking about, except that I knew that James Cameron was worth a lot of money, and that one guy is going to be prestige and one guy is going to be box office, big shot stuff.
There's also another interesting question where maybe I will throw this to you from DiCaprio and P.T. Anderson's Esquire interview.
Yeah.
They were trying to figure out what P.T. Anderson is like, what kind of filmmaker he is. DiCaprio keeps asking like, so what are you, like an art house filmmaker? Because you're not like big Marvel filmmaker. So what is that called? They couldn't decide.
What do you mean? Why? It's so weird because he's the same. He's no different than Martin Scorsese. He just doesn't make movies about fucking gangsters, or just scumbags in general.
Here's how that goes.
Well, I guess what's his name's a scumbag. Nice. How you doing?
DiCaprio goes, "You're considered a very art house director. Would you call it that? What do you call it?" And P.T. Anderson goes, "Well, there's no need to be insulting."
Fuck you. See, why do my heroes got to fucking do shit like that?
I know.
Fuck you.
I know.
Fuck you, P.T. Anderson.
Like, where the fuck would you be without fucking art house films?
What a fucking loser thing to say. Like, that's really ultimately a loser thing to say. Do you know how many art house fucking directors look up to P.T. Anderson? Mm-hmm. That just got immediately under my skin because I'm an art house. I'm an art house artist for sure.
But DiCaprio can't figure it out. He goes, "No, what's the term? Like, you don't do incredibly commercial movies. Let's put it that way. You're a writer director. You have your own vision. What's that term? What's the term?" And Anderson goes, "Box office challenged." They can't figure it out.
Box office challenged. By the way, somebody's asking who were Kevin and RD. Kevin Connolly, you might know him from the movie Gotti. He was the director. He also was in the series Entourage as E. But most people know him for Gotti. If you don't know him from Gotti, you should definitely watch the movie.
The movie Gotti?
It's the movie he directed.
Directed by Kevin Connolly?
He's very, very known for that. And Artie Robb, you know him from A Christmas Story. He triple dog dared the dude.
Is Artie Robb the kid that gets his tongue stuck on the pole?
No, he's the guy who...
He's the guy who dares the kid?
Him. He triple dog dares him. He doesn't dare him.
He triple dog dares him.
Is it double dog dare yet? I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, well, then they had to up the stakes to a triple dog dare. And you have to do it. That's
when shit got real.
Yeah.
I was like, he pushed all them chips in the middle.
That's right.
Anyway, so I'm glad I shared.
But that's not all that RD was doing.
What do you mean? In his life?
Yeah. You said who were Kevin and RD, and then you just said that he's from A Christmas Story.
I mean, Artie Robb's done some other shit. You can look it up on IMDb. He directed Don's Plum, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. That's what he's really most known for, actually. And I wrote and produced that movie, and RD and I were partners on that movie. And then I wrote a book about it called Two Real Hollywood Memoir. And I'm giving away free copies of this book when we get to 500 subscribers on the Big Red platform, and we're already at 400, and 97. So we might already be there.
That's fun.
And then so tomorrow, I'm going to give away 5 books. If there's even 5 people to give them to. If there's not, then I'll just keep going. I'll just watch me like for a month be giving away 5 books.
It'd be fun.
Like in 3 weeks from now, I'm going to be like, all right, we got 1 left.
Who wants it?
Who wants it? Seriously, I'll ship it to Australia if I have to. Take it up and gift it to your mother. Somebody must be having a birthday.
That's really funny. Anyway, I don't know if I recommend this interview because oh boy.
Oh, is that somebody outside?
Yeah, let me handle it.
Forgive us. I don't know why our lives have been so disruptive lately, but they are, and we're just going to go with the flow because that's what we got to do. Sorry, guys. I have no idea what's happening out there, but it would appear that it has disturbed the peace. Claire said that. Hey, excuse me. Cesar. Hey, God damn it. So sorry, guys. Just give us a minute while we deal with. We're just getting. Somebody knocked on our door, doesn't know, and we have. What do we have? We have 4 dogs tonight. They're all perturbed. So reading the book, said Claire, and Kevin was the only one that you felt bad for, aside from you and RD. What's interesting, I don't know. I mean, that is unintended. I did not intend for you to feel bad for Kevin Connolly whatsoever, because personally, I think Kevin Connolly was one of the worst of the lot. He was Artie Rob's friend for the longest. So, look, it's not that I necessarily was intending to make anybody feel bad, but, or look bad. But I thought that, maybe what I didn't do a good job of was establishing the relationship between Kevin Connolly and Artie Robb and the depth of that relationship, because it was super intense, super long. It was at that point already 12 years old, or maybe 10, but thereabouts. It's fucking terrible. And I'm not saying you shouldn't feel bad for him, Claire. I'm such a dick. I'm like, don't feel bad for Kevin Connolly. I'm glad you felt bad for him, actually, because the truth is that Kevin Connolly lost big in the debacle of Don's Plum. In fact, I would say that apart from myself and RD, he was probably the guy who suffered the most. It took whatever it was, 7 or 9 years before Entourage.
Maybe not suffered, but lost. Like, you guys definitely suffered the most, but he lost a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good choice. It's definitely a better choice to say lost. He definitely had a good life. He was making money or residuals and all this other stuff. But he lost, I think he lost more than any other actor ultimately. Again, it took him maybe 7 or 9 years before Entourage even happened. Mm-hmm. That was like, he was given that. That wasn't like something he got given that from Mark Wahlberg. By the way, you read this thing about Mark Wahlberg, and I had read, you read this thing about Leonardo DiCaprio and how he couldn't picture anyone but Mark in the role.
Yeah.
And then I read that he had actually recommended Mark Wahlberg when he turned it down. And if that's true, dude, then that makes my theory, my Spider-Man theory, even more
What's your Spider-Man
plausible.
theory?
My Spider-Man theory is that Tobey Maguire destroyed Don's Plum and my life, and Artie Robb's life, because Don's Plum would have cost him an opportunity to play Spider-Man. And I say that because James Cameron had, unbeknownst to me at the time, been in talks with Leonardo DiCaprio to play Spider-Man. And if there's one thing I know about Leo, it's that he would never play a superhero. Like there was no chance in that guy's life, and obviously that's proven because he's in his 50s. He's not going to start now. Although Pedro Pascal did, so who knows?
Maybe.
But in all likelihood, Leonardo DiCaprio will never play a superhero. If he does, he's obviously playing one that's in some decline, some state of decline.
Which might be interesting.
Which could be interesting, and I wouldn't necessarily call that a bad idea. But I am saying that I knew at the time, or I would have known at the time, had I known James Cameron was in pursuit of him for Spider-Man, that he would have turned that down. And his closest friend and the person of all of us, if you took all of the friends and you put us all in a room and you said, who's Peter Parker here? Almost everybody's going to point at Toby. All of us. If you asked all of us, we would all point at Toby fucking Maguire.
The nerdy looking brunette guy. Yeah,
yes.
That's Peter Parker for sure.
We would have all pointed at him. So, but Don's Plum would have gotten in his way, you know?
I mean, I don't believe that it would have. If his
agent was, I completely disagree.
If his agent was confident in his ability to get his client the work that he deserves, then it shouldn't have gotten in his way at all.
I don't think I don't think you're understanding my point here. He wouldn't have probably gotten an audition. Look, we already know that. Who was it that just came forward and said that because of her work in Heathers, that they pulled her audition. Winona Ryder just said because of her work in Heathers that somebody had pulled her audition from something. I can't remember what. It was a major thing, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's such a fucking drag, dude.
It happens, dude. There's all this evidence about...
I think there's a lot more... I think people have a lot more flexibility now to take a, daring, creative choices in their career and still do some of the, more mainstream stuff. Don't you think?
Yes.
But not in the 90s.
No. So I think that in that situation, you got to remember, like in the 90s, like the Rob Lowe controversy nearly cost him his life. His career, right? Like it did cost him his career. I mean, his career was gone for like 10, 15 years. Rob Lowe was off the planet because it had gotten out that he had slept with a 16-year-old in a hotel. He didn't face any kind of criminal charges. There was no kind of, nothing was brought to him, not even a lawsuit, but he, at least not to my knowledge, but he...
what the fuck was he thinking?
His career was irreparably harmed until like much later when I forget what he did, that people were like, oh, Rob Lowe's not a bad actor. And, people were willing to let it go. Now they elect presidents like Donald Trump. Now it doesn't matter. Now, who cares? Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a different era, but back then, and so maybe a filmmaker, but it's not just the filmmaker. My first thought was that James Cameron would have been like, no, I don't want Tobey Maguire because he's in this trash movie, this trash art house movie, right?
But this is before the ice storm, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he didn't even have all of that other stuff on his resume.
No, exactly.
There was the ice storm, and then what was the other one that he did that was a really big deal? Art house film? Not art house, obviously, but it was a big studio film, but Cider House Rules. Ice Storm and Cider House Rules.
Yes.
Had he done Cider House Rules already?
No.
Yeah. So.
Well, no. Yes, he had. He had shot Ice Storm. This was 95. Well, so this would have been 95, late 95. So it was just starting right around then. Mm-hmm. So he got Duke of Groove, and then later he got Ice Storm. So which came like a half year later. It's right in the window. This is all right in the window. Toby's career was definitely on a great place after the landing Duke of Groove, and again, Leo DiCaprio is your favorite guy, bro. He turns around and says, "Hey, James Cameron, look at this guy." They didn't need a star, and they knew that wasn't going to be what the studio was going to. I mean, if the studio could get a star, it'd be fine. They hired Toby after all, and Toby wasn't a star when he got it. I mean, He was a bit of a name, but he was not a star by any stretch of anyone's imagination. So. It is, to me, a very plausible thing. If again, Leo put, if it's true, Leo put Wahlberg in with PTA, and if that's true, then, and it's funny because, when Leo turned down Primal Fear, which is another scene in the book, and he didn't know who got it, but he knew who got it because Ed Norton eventually got it, but it wasn't like his recommendation. Ed Norton, of course, went on to get an Oscar nomination for that. Did he win? He might have even won. I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Anyway.
Let me see.
Leo and his stupid resort. Yeah, Leo's got a resort in the West Bank, if you're down for that kind of thing. It's really super fun.
No, it's not.
Great location.
He does not have a resort in the West Bank. Jesus, Dale, you're going to get in trouble.
Super good surfing, great surfing, fishing. It's a real happy place.
You should clarify that statement, Dale.
I'm reading somebody's statement. Lee said, Leo's building a resort on the West Bank. Leo's building a resort in Israel, just, I think, north of the West Bank.
Oh, to answer your question, so Edward Norton was nominated as the best supporting actor in Primal Fear, but he did not win.
He didn't win. Anyway, so that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. Do you want to get onto the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation?
Yes.
So in that situation, Blake Lively, so you remember that Bryan Freedman had published a fully redacted entire transcription of Blake Lively's deposition.
Mm-hmm. So that she would have to fight about it, even though they all had predetermined that they weren't going to do this sort of thing on the docket.
Right.
So they were like goading her into a fight that they then exploited, just like they predicted. Just like Blake Lively's team was like, this is all a plan to like goad her into a fight that they can then twist to make it seem like she's afraid of her own deposition. And that's exactly what they did with the content creators.
Yeah. So then
I actually screenshotted a bunch of like blue checks on Twitter, that are saying the exact thing that
they wanted.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll share those.
She must be afraid of her deposition.
Yeah, we'll share those exactly. Let's share those in a second. So anyway, yeah, so the judge then, after granting the strike, right, the motion to strike, which is Blake Lively filed the motion to strike. We got that incredibly strong response from the judge that more or less implicated Bryan Freedman as a basically a party to the problem, right? And
to the smear campaign.
To the smear campaign, and then Judge Liman then subsequently ordered, because he said that the big part of this ruling, what made them look so bad, Bryan Freedman, to the court, is that they published this entire transcription, but all they required was really like less than 2 pages of actual testimony was what they were citing.
They were citing
to their motion
2 lines on 2 separate pages, but they uploaded the entire 400-page document.
So the judge then said, hey, let's go ahead and publish those.
The two
sections there.
So here they say, I got this from Us Weekly, okay, which is not legacy media or anything, or maybe it is.
Yeah, I mean, I can pull up the raw right from Reddit.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But I'm just going to credit them because they're the ones that spelled it out the way I'm going to read it to you guys.
Okay.
Anyway, they say that they got the exclusive, even though it's just available on the docket for anybody to read. Blake Lively calls out Justin Baldoni's lawyer over alleged smear campaign in deposition transcript. This article was written by Ryan Nauman. It was published yesterday. But here's the transcript in question. Okay? Do you want to hear it?
Please.
Okay, on Monday, August 11th, Lively's team filed a heavily redacted portion of Lively's deposition transcript. She was grilled by Baldoni's legal team on July 31st in New York City. Baldoni, his lawyer Bryan Freedman, and various members of his team were present. Lively had a team of attorneys next to her. The transcript reveals a small amount of the whole deposition. Okay, the question from Bryan Freedman was, when did the smear campaign end? Blake Lively said, it doesn't feel like it's ended. So he goes, it's still ongoing? And she said, it feels that way, yeah. Who do you believe is involved in the ongoing smear campaign? Lively replied, I believe, outside of what I know through attorneys, because that's privileged information she doesn't have to disclose.
Well, there's a very specific, if you read the actual whole thing, it's actually quite fascinating because her lawyer, he objects, and that based on attorney-client privilege, and he does advise her immediately about it. So that means that at the very least, which I love this if it's just a tactic, which that's why I wanted to read the whole thing, but it's fine. But I love this as a tactic because as a tactic, it does one of two things. As a tactic, it says we have information that we've provided to our client that we obtained that implicates certain parties present.
And they can't get it.
And they can't get it because it's privileged.
It's brilliant.
Between her attorney and...
But that's admissible in court. Like at a trial, they would be able to say all
whenever
of that.
they want to break the privilege, I guess, and offer it up. You know, I don't know how that works.
That's awesome.
Specifically.
She's like, I know things that you don't know.
So now that's either that, right?
Right.
They either want to like put up the facade, or the fact is that they actually, through some form of discovery or otherwise, have obtained information that none of us knows about. Because this would be stuff that not even, that neither party has known about beyond the relationship between Blake Lively and her attorney. And they like really emphasize this in this doc, in this unredacted portion. Go ahead.
So the question is, who do you believe is involved in the ongoing smear campaign? And Lively replies, I believe, outside of what I know through attorneys, I believe that the defendants are involved. When asked which ones by Baldoni's lawyer, Lively said, all of them. And I believe you are.
And I believe you are, she said to him. Now, let's remember the setting here. Let's put the setting into perspective here. Blake Lively is sitting in a room with 22 people. Among those 22 people are Jamie Heath, Justin Baldoni, Bryan Freedman, Melissa Nathan, Jennifer Abel. Wallace was not there. So just to name a few. Just to name a fucking few. Oh, let's throw in Steve Sarowitz.
It's really bold.
So she's sitting in front of 22 people.
Yeah.
Looking that fucker, Bryan Freedman, right in the eye and saying, and I believe you too. So I just think, like, first of all, the one thing I'll say so far about what you've read, but also I read the full unredacted part. And what I read to me was somebody who was really fucking together, dude.
Oh, sweet.
She got in there and she answered her questions with, like, just honesty. The very brief answers that we got to read.
Yeah, she's
no long diatribes like you'd get from me. Fucking pages and pages of me of this and that and whatever. Blake Lively, man, getting it done. Super succinct.
Did your attorneys have to keep saying, like, Dale, it's a yes or no question. You don't have to elaborate.
Yes, at breaks they were like, Dale, I know you want to tell them everything. But the idea is to not tell them everything, because some of the stuff you're telling them, they don't need to know and can come out when we cross. I'm like, Urgh! I want to prove the case now,
Yeah.
Anyway, they
continue.
Awesome restraint, killer delivery from what I could read.
Baldoni's lawyer subsequently asked, and what is the basis for your belief that all of the defendants and myself are involved in an ongoing smear campaign? And she said, outside of what I know through my attorneys, I believe the act of a retaliatory lawsuit and the press that you have done and the statements that you have made about me and my character have felt incredibly retaliatory.
So, by the way, that sort of setting that I put, that I built based on like the actual full read of the document, that's where the lawyer is like, basically, we've got information that you're not going to get from our client because it's client-attorney privilege.
Nice.
So only answer the question based on what, is outside of that protection.
Freedman then responded by saying, what about the defendants? What did they do that's part of the ongoing smear campaign? And she said, like I said, outside of conversations with my attorney, I'm unable to answer that.
So there's the big that's the juicy part to me. That to me is straight up lick your fingers juicy.
You don't get to know.
You don't get to know.
I have to answer your questions, but not those.
Outside of what I've expressed here with my attorney.
A spokesperson for Lively previously...
That's fucking juicy, dude.
This article continues just briefly. A spokesperson for Lively previously told Us Weekly, we are very pleased with the outcome of her deposition and now look forward to deposing Justin Baldoni and each of the co-defendants in short order. Deposition testimony is confidential for good reason. It's evidence in a legal proceeding and is subject to objections and evidentiary rules. Juries aren't just handed deposition transcripts to read at home.
No.
And instead, they listen to testimony that is presented at trial under a judge's supervision.
Correct. So, in fact, they didn't publish the objections, but the objections are all ruled on. They're not just objected to. Mm-hmm. The judge actually reads that transcript.
That's right.
Or watches the testimony and then rules on every single objection. That's got to be just fucking wow. Because they fucking object. You read our depositions. Mm-hmm. How many times do you hear objection? It's just so...
It's constant.
And they're like straight up
I think they're trying to run down the time.
Jousting, and,
Mr. Hans is with us on TikTok.
Oh, where's Jerry Swindoll? I don't know.
Kevin Connolly ate Jerry Swindoll, and now people feel bad for him.
Exactly. You can't just eat Jerry Swindoll and expect the world to.
Danielle said, I need to get this book.
Oh, great. Well, I know a place. You can get it at tworealbook.com or amazon.com. At tworealbook.com, I will sign those books. These are the books behind me. You don't really see them on your TikTok or really anywhere, actually. But I got loads of books.
Would you like to tell the folks on TikTok about today being our very last?
Sadly, today's our last day broadcast. They're like doing a live for TikTok because TikTok has revoked my rights to.
TikTok broke up with you.
They broke up with me basically on the lives. You know, they're fine with me on my posted content, but for whatever reason, they're not really podcast friendly because, you know, we need to be able to be a little free mouthed around here, you know?
That's right.
Pardon me. So all the rules are just absolutely, you know, painstakingly difficult for us to manage. And so, you know, we're going to do everything over at the Big Red place. Apologies, by the way, but.
Feels Bad Man is asking, why did Leo think that Richard Gere was creepy?
There was a rumor about...
That's in your book, too.
that is. There was I think he's citing that book. Look, there was a rumor that I'm not going to repeat, but there was a rumor, I didn't even repeat it in the book because fuck that. But I thought it was worth talking about because he wanted to get out of he chose not to go to Primal Fear, and that was why, at least.
Leo?
Yeah, that's what Leo said. You know, there was a rumor about Richard Gere that involved
a kink
that, you know, many would probably call like a homoerotic kink, which I wouldn't say is, but
no, I don't know. It was a really out there kink, and it was so out there that it's
just not true.
It made it impossible to believe that it was true, but Leo believed it because I guess he's gullible.
Well, it's not even true because, like, I mean, it is, but so many people did. It was an unbelievable, like, you know, it's so funny because we're living in the MAGA era where, like, just the most outrageous shit, and you know, back then it was like no one would believe what, you know, the shit that goes on, but
now everybody believes everything.
Yeah, but
doesn't
even
matter
back
how
then, like, some crazy wacky shit happened, and
doesn't matter how crazy it sounds, everybody just believes everything now.
And people would believe it, and like, so this rumor about Richard Gere was simply not true. It was like it was an absolutely ridiculous rumor. It was like hideous, really.
And so Leo lost out on a role that he was offered.
Yeah, potentially like life-changing role. Not that he was short on those, but
right.
You know, it was Primal Fear. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. It's fucking brilliant. Oh, I love that movie. Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that movie. So it's so funny you brought that up because Angela is going to be watching a movie that I'm going to, you know, she's been putting me through Godzilla movies, and so I'm going to put her through 1982.
I just had like a monster movie, action movie itch I had to scratch, and you live with me, and so I had to put you through it.
All right, I enjoyed it. We'll do them again and again. We go back and forth, and I get to go back to the classics now instead of going to art house. Fuck you, PTA. Fuck you forever on that, by the way. But I'm going to put you through 1982's An Officer and a Gentleman. And so if you guys want to watch along this weekend, Angela and I are watching Officer and a Gentleman.
Woo!
You're going to love it. It's a great movie.
Is it that kind of movie? A woo movie.
Yeah, you know, it's just, you know what it is? It's a turn up the movie. It's drama. It's drama. Officer and a Gentleman.
Would it make a good double feature?
I'm thinking about what to pair it with.
I like double features.
This won't be your decision.
It won't be mine.
It'll be like Officer and a Gentleman and Twister.
Alligator. Twister is a good one.
Twister is a monster movie.
Is it a monster movie?
Yeah, I mean, it's man versus nature, but it's still.
Somebody said that Twister was a heist. No, what was the heist movie? They said that. Was Twister a heist movie?
Yeah, they said Twister was a heist movie.
Oh, that's so great because they had to break into the center of the tornado to get the data.
To get the data and
to get the storm data
and get it out
and get it back out without getting caught.
Do you agree?
That was brilliant.
Do you agree?
I thought that was brilliant.
Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with it?
Yeah.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You were looking at your phone. I thought you were asking everybody.
There's somebody talking about Deborah Winger. She's one of my favorites of all time, bro. Listen, man, Deborah Winger, in terms of endearment, just like it changed me. Like that performance changed me. Oh, her voice in that just alone. I used to just like, I watched that movie multiple times just so I could hear Deborah Winger talk in that movie. There's just something about her in that movie that's just, and of course
which movie are you
it's the
talking
saddest
about
movie
now?
ever. I don't even want to talk about it really.
Which movie?
In terms of endearment.
Maybe we watch. Maybe that's our double feature.
No, we're not going to watch that. We just went through it in real life. I don't want to watch that in the movie.
We'll sob.
Yeah, it's way too early for that. But I'm going to figure out the second movie is going to be a good one.
Well, so what else would you like to talk about today?
Oh my God. East Meets West Bestie is saying, and Shirley MacLaine has a scene in terms of endearment that is so transcendent, that is so beyond comprehension in terms of skill and delivery and beauty of acting, so perfectly captured, perfectly edited. I mean, it is just a moment. She's in the hospital screaming for her daughter to get meds to take away her pain. Oh, I could just die right now. Listen, I can't even talk about it. Let's move on. It's brilliant. It's so amazing.
That's going on the list.
Oh my goodness. I just was, I'm kind of going back so I can swallow back that talk of terms of endearment and just remember, like I was, you know, rolling up my Kappa-Maki rolls, my sushi rolls, and I was thinking about Blake Lively sitting there in room 22 people. When I first read it, you know, I was just reading it, and it's her testimony. It's two people. It's Bryan, well, three when you with her lawyer objecting.
Right.
So it's three people on the transcript. And, you know, it's just easy to completely narrow that space in your mind to just those three people. But of course, my mind wandered immediately to 22 humans in the room.
I think that she's uniquely qualified to excel in a situation like that, because like just today we were talking about somebody who was present on the set of It Ends with Us. Somebody had found this old like Reddit comment, this old Reddit post about somebody who was in one of the crowd scenes. And they were talking about how Blake Lively showed up and she did her work and then she left. And everybody else was like milling around and getting to know each other. Like all the extras and the background actors and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I just think that she's been in so many situations where she has to show up in a huge crowd where there's a bunch of other stuff going on and be like extremely focused on the job that she has to do and the lines that she has to say. So I feel like a deposition it's just really easy to like reframe it into this like normal day on the job for her. You know?
I mean, no. Yes and no. So I can see how like, you know, I can see how she's rehearsed in this way. She knows how to perform in front of others. She's
under pressure.
She's had 20 plus people looking at her with her legs spread, you know, trying to give, you know, full birth to a child. So yeah, she's been there. She knows what it's about. But there's so much pressure in this situation because this is a situation where not only is she fighting for her own reputation, but she's fighting for what is ultimately, you know, a big giant issue in Hollywood where women are being, you know, and there are issues like this. This one's like this situation sort of seems to reach beyond the scope of just bad behavior. This is where you've got a guy who's like setting traps. You know, even though this guy isn't like accused of doing something as heinous as say a Harvey Weinstein, it has the same feeling to me because if you build a scenario or you build a reputation around equality for women, the deconstruction of toxic masculinity, right? About elevating the feminist cause and movement, if that's your facade, but underneath all of that, you're conducting the kind of set that Blake Lively witnessed on It Ends with Us. I think that there could be a part of her that's saying, man, this is more than just me. This is about what we can't have this in Hollywood. We can't have young Lily showing up and being exploited in the way that Justin Baldoni wanted to exploit for his film. And look, you know, he's the director. He gets to do what he wants. Like, remember the movie they're making. This isn't like Dale Wheatley's new art house movie.
It is really incredible that he wanted to elaborate and indulge his own creative like license in sex scenes in a movie about DV, right?
Yeah.
It's so weird that he was like so interested in, you know, he shared in his documents, he shared the notes that he had taken with the intimacy coordinator.
Yes.
And how he was like offering up all of these ideas, and obviously he's like crafting a scene, right? That isn't on the page in the screenplay. But we're also talking about somebody who was very open about how he believed he had a porn addiction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So like, I don't know whether he should have recognized that maybe he's not the best person to judge what the female gaze is if he also was a person who had a problematic consumption of corn. You know, I don't know why he thought that he should elaborate so much and be so creative and willy-nilly with these sex scenes in his movie if he comes from that background. I don't know.
This is the part that drives me like so kind of wild or crazy about it all too. I feel exactly the same way as you do about it.
Guilty Angel wants to know, why was Princess Baldoni discussing his corn addiction with Blake?
Well, I think that there could be context where it seems like it would fit in terms of, the context. Let me sort of build a scenario where they're talking about Ryle's addictions.
Yeah.
Or they're talking about, it could be anything like that. I believe Ryle actually did have that addiction, the character.
Yeah, let me look this up.
It would make sense that it would make sense that he would have, be able to relate to it in some way. Look, the problem isn't that he said it. The problem is that he didn't know that what he was saying could come with problems, right? I don't know, man. The guy, in that situation, I think it's just a guy, just oversharing. The problem isn't that he did that. The problem is that he didn't fix the problems that were being reported to him. Like, for example, if there's a complaint, an SH complaint filed, and he goes and he solves that problem to the satisfaction of the person who filed it, and he's also then created a mechanism in place to make sure that never happens again, right? Or that it's dealt with appropriately should it happen again, so on, so forth. And there's an era of feeling about the place where they handle their problems. If there's a problem, they handle it, they grow, they learn, they move on. Similar to that letter that they constructed for Baldoni to potentially sign or negotiate to sign toward the actual premiere of the movie, near the premiere of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, where was I? I'm sorry, I kind of got lost track there. Can you get me back on the rails?
We were talking about why was Baldoni discussing his corn addiction with Blake in the first place?
Well, so where I was going with that is that, so it's not like beyond reason that or let's just put it this way. Had he taken care of his problems, he might have been able to say something like that and it not be taken in a context where he is being harassing or where he is being inappropriate. And that it's more in the context of, the problem is that he muddied the waters already with complaints that were unresolved and that were actually mocked by the partner, Jamie Heath. We know this to be true based on the evidence, at least, that Jamie Heath, after giving a hug to somebody on the set, on the first day of set, or maybe it was the second day, whatever it was, but he gave somebody a hug and he said, "Oh, I probably shouldn't be doing that. We already got our first HR complaint."
Right. That's not evidence. That's just a recollection from a witness.
Okay, but the point is,
that
well, that would be evidence. It's just circumstantial.
Right.
But if that evidence is real, it shows where the real problem is with this situation. It's not that he said that. It's that he didn't know how to solve the problem about the effect of it.
Mm-hmm.
We can make mistakes, dude. You just got to fix your mistakes. You got to, make sure that you're addressing the problem. Make sure the person who's offended understands your intent.
Yeah.
And also understands that you're prepared to learn from the situation.
I guess I just don't know. I don't understand why a guy who was admitted to having such difficulty throughout his life in like his perception of women and the objectification of women and all of this, he blames it in like he's exposed to a bunch of stuff, and it's his upbringing and his peer group and everything that sort of like distorts his view of women.
Right.
So what I don't understand is like if he's aware enough of that kind of issue to be talking about his growth from it, where he's like, I was messed up and now I'm better. Why does he not recognize that it's really weird for him to be meeting with the intimacy coordinator alone without Blake Lively's input, and then to be like constructing this whole scene without Blake Lively's input, and then expect to just perform it on set without the intimacy coordinator and with Blake Lively being like, yeah, me and the intimacy coordinator met without you, not on set where the intimacy coordinator should be working. You know, it's just so weird that he wouldn't be like, maybe I have like a distorted view of what maybe a woman would like to see in a sex scene in a movie that's made for women. Like, maybe I'm not the most credible source of this kind of creative input.
Right.
You know,
I think it's just, you know, I think it's just his inexperience. Like that's, I think more or less what you're getting at, right? Like this is just a guy who just didn't have the experience to be able to hold down a movie with a giant star the size and scope of Blake Lively and Sony.
Yeah. I really don't understand why he wanted to make the movie in the first place. I really don't. I don't know why he thought that this book that I'm currently listening to the audiobook of translates well to the screen. It's so funny because
like Angela's listening to the book and she's in the kitchen and I'm sitting there and I just constantly hear, ew.
I know.
Ew. This
book is not written for me. I'm sure it's a great book. I'm sure the people are totally correct when they say that they liked it and it's good. It is not. I am not the audience for this kind of book. There is so much stuff that happens between these two characters that is supposed to be romantic and is absolutely the cringiest, like worst. And I just don't know how somebody reads that book and is like, not only do I want to be the director of this movie, I want to hang my career on this, but I also want to be the character who is doing the most outrageous things on the screen.
That's really funny.
I don't fucking get it. He's a weirdo. Lee said, confession is big in his faith. He confesses in advance. That's interesting.
Really,
when he does something bad,
faith.
When he does something bad, that's his excuse.
To me, that's the first cop out. You should like not like. Such a religious cop out, dude. Confessing is just like.
Well, a cop out to the person who's saying it, but not to anybody listening to it, where they're like, "That's a cop out."
No, I'm saying it's a cop out in general, right?
Like explaining that behavior.
Yeah, like this bullshit that you get to like participate in this religion that's supposed to be about obviously doing the right thing, being a good person, living in community and whatever. I don't know. I mean, pick your religion and the rules that go around it. But you know, these religions, like they're like, you know, to keep people within the confines of the religion, they had to give them a vehicle to be bad, and that vehicle is confessions.
Yeah.
You get to go be bad. Yeah. Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. When's the last time? Yesterday. All right. What happened today?
You're so
all the horrible shit I did. All right. Off you go then, me.
This cracks this whole mystery wide open. Yeah. You've solved the case, Dale. Because that's exactly what he does in his whole like podcasting career. He's always talking about the bad things that he did, but because he's talking about it, it's fine. He's better now because he can admit what he did, and he's not that person anymore. That he's growing. He always talks about how he's a work in progress. Like as if that excuses his behavior. He's like, I screwed up. Yeah, I continue to screw up. Yeah, I'll screw up and more, but I'm a work in progress, so you should forgive me for it.
I mean, look, we're all works in progress, and so that's why he's playing that card.
Of course we are. That's why it's like not a card to play. Like,
right.
It's just the cheapest way to escape any accountability for your behavior.
Yeah, totally.
Like, bro, you're talking about choices you're making.
Completely.
That you could not be making, you know?
Yeah.
So weird.
I just think that religions that give you an opportunity to get out of the trouble you caused with a simple confession is a fucking
you're cleansed.
It's just horseshit.
Yeah.
It's just horseshit.
I know,
it's like flies in the face of the whole purpose of it. You know, like, you know, I understand turning to religion through hard times or to help cleanse the demons out of you, but this idea that you get to be an upstanding citizen by simply confessing your sins after they occur is super fucking convenient for that tithing, isn't it? That keeps the tithings coming, doesn't it?
No, that's the thing. I was following this really bonkers story on TikTok. This woman was, she was like basically like live streaming. She was having like a psychological break where she was indulging in delusions about a love affair with her psychiatrist. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. This thing went viral. But it was really amazing how these people are very... that
story's nuts.
I know.
I'm surprised we didn't cover it.
Well, it's hard to cover without feeling like you're making fun of somebody who's really struggling mentally. Like she does not know. She doesn't recognize. And so she's in this feedback loop where she's consulting AI which is just a language model that's going to tell you what it has determined you want to hear. Like, you know, you give it a bunch of information and it's like, okay, cool, I'll tell you what you want. It's not being critical. It's not like, you know, it's not providing like constructive or critical feedback that a person might want if they're consulting it for whatever therapeutic, you know,
right,
consultation. Anyway, but that's a lot of what I think that Baldoni gets stuck doing, is that he's in this like feedback loop where he's like, I confessed. And then the person around him is the people in front of him are like, and that's what makes you a good person. And then he's like, and I'm a good person. And so I can't do any wrong. So when he's on the set and he is acting out of fucking hand and people are like, yo, bro, you're fucking up and you're making everybody uncomfortable. He's like, but I'm not the sort of person that would do that because I'm not wrong. Like this lady who's consulting her AI who's like, no, you're right in this situation. She's like, see, like he's had enough people
like
who...
it's his own perception of himself that is his biggest obstacle?
Jamie Heath is his biggest obstacle.
Well, yes, because
Jamie Heath is constantly around. Every time you see those two together, Justin Baldoni is confessing something and Jamie Heath is like, bro, you're that's so good that you're confessing that, you know, you're such a big man for being able to admit, you know, like he's constantly like laundering his conscience, you know,
it's
for
true.
him, just being like, you're not the type of person that would do that. You're a better person than that. And that's why we're talking about this, you know?
Yeah, I remember
like
that
a
episode.
Feedback loop.
I remember that episode of the Man Enough podcast when they were doing the Me Too episode, where they were sitting around and eating and talking about grape. It's just like, wow, you have the choices you make.
Yeah.
They're like fucking sitting there like sucking on the bones of like fucking meat bones while they're talking about.
That was really fucking ill-advised. I don't know what they were thinking doing that.
But at the end of it, Jamie Heath, he just goes off on how much, you know, Baldoni has grown, and
yes,
it's just like, but coming from him, you know, it's just so funny.
Like, no, dude, you guys are just a mirror for each other, and that's why you like each other, right? Like, this is all over Justin Baldoni's astrology chart too. He is a very, very self-centered person, which isn't necessarily, I'm not saying that derogatory sense. Like, a lot of people can be self-centered and do incredible things and are, you know, that's their gift to the world.
Yeah.
So for better or for worse, he is a very self-centered person, and I think that he's interested in others in the way that they can mirror him, right? Instead of, like, he wants to be helpful for the homeless, but he films it the whole time.
Yeah.
So he makes sure that he's always in the frame helping the people that he's helping through whatever charity work he's doing. Like, it's got to mirror him. Everybody has to get a better impression of him because he's doing these things. It's always front of mind with him.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why he just collects these people who, that's probably why he liked these fucking publicists so much, because they're like, we're going to take care of your image. And he was like, my image is the most important thing.
Well, I mean, he didn't even need somebody, to tell him that, because that's what he was buying. He was literally buying all eyes
Protect
on me.
my image. That's like music to this guy's ears.
Totally. Of course. Well, listen, man,
he didn't do the one thing that would have protected his image the most, though.
Yeah. By the way,
and that's act differently.
Vicious Vixen just joined us on TikTok. So I just want to, hi, Vicious Vixen. So good to see you again. Always good to see you. I just wanted to make you aware and tell everyone else who might be with us, we have 6 people here now, that we are not going to continue doing lives on TikTok after today. And the reason is because we have been doing these multicasts, and TikTok is just being very difficult when it comes to my lives. They're cool with my content, but they're not cool with my lives for whatever reason. And I just think that maybe it's just a bad platform for us in terms of the things we talk about.
So you're just going to keep posting like edited.
I'm moving into this like workflow with all this stuff, this great content that we're creating with these awesome human beings that hang out with us every night, into a couple of forms. I want to do the short form content. If you saw the whale video that we did, it'll be like, cuts like that for shorts, and then also longer bits for YouTube. So if you go over, but either way, I'm going to post all of those videos. I'm going to post everything 10 minutes and under on TikTok. And I'm also going to post, of course, all these videos on the other platforms as well.
But this is really cute. In the TikTok chat,
yeah,
Crazy GMA said, "Oh no."
I know. I'm
Vicious
really.
Vixen said, "Oh, I'm sorry," but they can find you on the other.
Yeah,
there's a link in your bio.
Yeah, if you want to check us out on YouTube, we're going to be there every night, 7 to 9, as usual. And I was torn about this, but TikTok is kind of bringing down the live. I've run into everything I've been doing. Like I haven't been able to focus on the content as much as I like to because I've spent so much time trying to solve the problems that TikTok gives me. And it's all TikTok problems. Like every single problem has been a TikTok problem. And so it's just gotten so much, it's just taken up so much of my time. And there's not a real reward in the end, I mean, well, that's not true. Let me restate that. I've been wanting to do this for a while and just stop with TikTok, but I haven't because of you guys. Like, that is my biggest regret. Like, I don't want to leave anybody behind. So I am begging you that if you love the live, come see us on the other channel. You can still come and check out all of our TikTok content. And look, if we can't have the privilege of your company, I completely understand. I do hope, though, that you will continue to watch what we produce on TikTok. But anyway, that's the move we're making. And we just think it's kind of the best move for us right now in terms of just being able to focus on these lives. We have such a good time. And I feel like if half the time I'm like dealing with these problems that shouldn't be there.
You got to spread your wings and fly.
I got to spread my wings. So I hope that you guys will join us on the other channel. If you don't, then yes, I will miss you terribly. All right. Moving back onto the topics at hand. Are we done with the lively situation? The big draw, the big, the big public conversation? Because Johnny Depp, I got to tell you, man, Johnny Depp, right? So Jerry Bruckheimer, if you don't know who that is, he's one of the biggest producers ever. He used to be a part of a group called Simpson and Bruckheimer. Don Simpson, the late great producer that lost his life to addiction in the early late 90s. Anyway, Don Simpson, Simpson Bruckheimer, and then Bruckheimer went on and did his own thing. Jerry Bruckheimer, big giant producer. He is also the producer of Pirates of the Caribbean, and he had a chat with Johnny Depp apparently recently. And in his conversation with Johnny Depp, he asked Johnny if he would play Jack Sparrow. And Johnny Depp said he would consider doing it on one condition. And the condition, of course, is that the script is good. Which I just find really funny because what happened to Dead Men Tell No Tales? Did you see Dead Men Tell No Tales? Let me tell you something about this movie. I didn't either. You know why? Because I fucking stopped it.
Why?
It was so bad.
Was that a Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes, it was the last one. It was so bad. It was a fucking unwatchable movie. To me, it was an unwatchable. I can't remember who I watched it with. I remember looking over at whomever it was and saying, how could this fucking get made? Who could make this movie? What? Who could even? I felt violated by the movie. The movie was a violation of my love for cinema, of my appreciation and love for Johnny Depp's work as an artist, and even for the Pirates of the Caribbean fucking franchise, which, who cannot love that first installment? One of the best, certainly the best swashbuckler movie I ever saw.
Okay, there's The Curse of the Black Pearl. There's The Dead Man's Chest.
Yeah.
There's At World's End.
Yeah.
There's On Stranger Tides.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
There's Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Yeah, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
2017.
The absolute. It must have. I don't know how. Maybe I was watching it with
Javier Bardem is in it.
It is so
weird.
Fucking bad. It's an unwatchable piece of trash. So I'm just wondering, I think the bar is low already. Because he's like, Johnny Depp's being all pretentious.
That's probably why,
it.
because he probably knew that one wasn't good in either. He was like, I'll come back if you bring back the heat of the earlier movies.
I hope that what he means by that is that he wants it to go all the way back to the first. Did you see the first one?
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh my God. The first one is fucking brilliant. It's a brilliant movie. I remember feeling so inadequate as a writer coming out of that first one because I felt like a lot of times I'll go see movies and I'll be like, I could write that. And it gives me a little boost, it keeps me going. Because I feel like I'm reasonably hard on myself. So if I say I can write something that's up to par with something I just saw, it makes me feel good, because it's the only satisfaction I can get as a blacklisted filmmaker.
Yeah.
You know, is to compare myself to the things I could have been. You know, and I saw the first Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was like, I could never write a movie that good.
There's 5 of these.
Yeah, there's 5 of them. It's
Have you
so
seen
much
them all?
money. It's worth. I think I have.
That's all he does anymore. Oh, he did the
He did that
F1
really.
movie, he's done Top Gun recently, but all of his other work is this is all he's been doing lately.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruckheimer did enough, you know.
Guilty Angel says I should write more books. I'm going to. That's definitely my focus going forward for sure. So we've got questions going down. Somebody just said, Jamie, good question. Can you go to TikTok and see what's up?
Yes.
We should probably do some questions on the other side too.
Jamie wants to know
Yes, Jamie.
on TikTok.
Hi, TikTok. And hi,
I want to
Jamie.
hear about your guilty pleasures movies, ones you know are objectively bad, but you enjoy anyway. That is a great question.
Okay. Objectively bad that I enjoy anyway. Ooh, that's a bit of a tough one for me. Objectively bad, but that I enjoy
Objectively
anyway.
bad, but you
Yeah.
enjoy anyway.
Let's see. Do you have one on mind?
I was
in
gonna.
mind?
I'm surprised you're not saying Roger Waters movies because they are objectively.
Roger Waters?
I mean, what's his name?
Roger Corman.
No. Why am I saying Roger Waters? I do this every time I try to talk about this guy.
You want to bust out the
like Pink Flamingos. What's his name?
You keep doing this, asking if we're switching platforms. Well, what happened yesterday, you keep doing this, was that we were in a live, and I was doing a duo broadcast.
John Waters.
John Waters. Oh, I love John Waters. Oh, Desperate Living. Desperate Living is the number one to that. Really, you know what? I guess because it's weird because I can't call them bad movies. Desperate Living is going to be my number one answer for that.
That is
for sure.
your guilty pleasure movie when you know that's objectively bad, but you enjoy it.
It's an objectively bad movie, and I absolutely love it. And I would say that I get afraid of saying this is like you fucking, you know, I say this now, some people will be like, "What are you talking about, dude? That movie's not bad." So that's why I'm like worried about it. Let me answer this question. We're not switching platforms. You keep doing this because we're already on YouTube. But so I did this thing called Restream, which gave me the opportunity to broadcast the actual produced podcast to both TikTok and YouTube at the same time. And it took me almost a week to get approved by TikTok, and they approved us. And then during the broadcast, they revoked that approval. They have done this to me over and over again. Listen to this. They invited me to open up a store, and connect my bookstore. So I said, sure, I'm going to do that. I did all the application process. I had to send them all my tax information, all the stuff you have to do. The same thing I had to do for Amazon and every other, Ingram Spark and all the outlets that I sell my book, Apple, everybody, right? And then I order a couple $1,000s worth of books to sell on TikTok because I'm going to be successful. You know that. And I connect the store, and I'm about to start doing lives during the day where I'm reading the book to sell the book, and TikTok revokes my store. They pull my store out from under me. So I'm like, well, what the fuck? I just bought all these books. I don't even know why they're doing it. They say they need more documentation. I provide that documentation. Then I get another invitation saying, okay, open your store again. I do it again. They approve the store. I go live. They pull the store. And they just did the same thing with the live. So I just don't understand what's going on with TikTok and me. They're just not showing me the love. And so yesterday with this Restream.io, they pulled the license right in the middle, and they completely botched the whole live because Restream acted like it didn't have the permission. So it choked my stream, and I ended up getting knocked off both platforms. So I was like, well, white flag time. I probably didn't need to tell you all of that, but that's why. So I do hope you'll join us over on YouTube. It is with such regret that we're leaving TikTok. I really wanted to build this build the live on TikTok. But we're still going to build the content because I'm going to post there hopefully daily. I'm just getting the workflow finished. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, moving on. What the fuck, Johnny Depp? I hope he's really going to hold to that and he's going to make them like write a badass movie.
Yeah.
If you need somebody who can write some stupid dialogue in any
Wouldn't it be amazing?
genre, it's
He's
me.
like, yeah, I'll do it if you hire Dale Wheatley for the screenplay.
I need a job. I'll take a job. I want this to be our job. I like this job. Should I go to my? You got any stuff, or do I gotta go to my saves?
Did we finish talking about everything you planned?
I think so. Yeah. You know, the other thing I didn't bring up is that did we talk about Taylor Swift yesterday? I guess we did.
Yes.
How awesome is it that she's using her fame to boost even further and try to really cross over that podcast? Because that podcast is a sports-centric podcast.
Yes.
And my guess is that she's trying to help them, like, try to go Rogan big, you know?
I thought that she wanted to do a podcast. She wanted to release her record by, like, talking to somebody about it. And yeah, she wanted to promote her boyfriend's podcast, but also she can't talk to anybody right now because everybody's going to be asking her about Blake Lively. So there's just like nowhere that she can, like, she has to have, it's just like DiCaprio. Like, he has to do interviews through Paul Thomas Anderson
So
for
is this
Esquire.
the new norm? Is the new norm that no one's going to deal with? Like, our reporters just going to get shunned except for us, like, desperate guys who are like, just say anything to me and I'll respond.
I mean, it's very smart. It's smart to do it. I think that if they really want to control the environment of their interview, yeah, like who needs to be like, you know, submit themselves to hard questioning, like Barbara Walters interviews and shit like that. You know, nobody needs that when they're just trying to promote their work. They don't need like gotcha questions. You know, you think Taylor Swift needs any of that shit?
I don't.
She's like, I just want to tell some people some news, and I want to do it in a creative way that maybe helps my boyfriend.
I feel for them. I do. I feel for them because it's like, you know, as we're watching Pamela, which is the documentary on Netflix on Pamela Anderson, and that moment where Tommy Lee grabs the camera, throws the cameraman to the ground. This after she miscarries and everybody's up in the face. You know, I feel for that. I feel for them in that situation.
You got the timeline wrong. He was lashing out at camera people because this was right after their sex tape was stolen.
Okay.
They had kids at home and they wanted to go out for the night and they couldn't.
It's another fucking situation there that was like, oof.
She's had a really rough celebrity experience.
Yeah.
Do you like how that documentary treated it?
I do. I think they're handling it well. I think
she participated in it, so that makes me feel like it's a good source instead of somebody just like, you know, gossiping about Pamela Anderson.
I think it's cool. It's a nice intimate look into her life. And it really does normalize her in a way that I think, you know, many who may have followed her career haven't had a chance to see. And so I like it a lot, actually. I like it more than I thought I would. You know, it's interesting because like her quirk, the side that, you know, people might call crazy, that she herself calls crazy, is on display. You know, like what's interesting about this intimate look. I was like, wow, I could never hook up with this chick, like never.
Why? What did you get from her?
I can tell like that. I would not like nothing. No slight on her at all. She's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Obviously,
no, I'm just curious about what you're referring to, because to me she seems really like vibrant and sweet and like outgoing and funny. Yeah. I don't get any like. She says I'm a little crazy, and I'm like, how? Like I didn't see it at all. I think maybe she's saying that she's a little crazy because she was very comfortable nude, like doing photo shoots in the nude. Yeah, maybe. But other than that, I don't get that she has like a.
I think that I would have a sense of insecurity around her, not because of her looks or because of her you know, open sexuality or anything like this. It would just be more that like she seems like she's not emotionally attached, even though obviously she had this incredibly torrid love affair with in marriage with Tommy Lee, and it was like the love of her life. And I think that's it. I think the impression I get from her is that the love of her life is gone. It can never be replaced. Everything's kind of a stale, you know, potato chip after that.
Yeah, I want to watch more from her. She has like a home and garden series, Pamela's Garden of Eden, where she does like gardening and cooking and stuff. I think I want to watch it. I'm here for the Pamela Renaissance.
Yeah, you keep doing this as saying that she loves that she's dating Liam Neeson. What's so weird about that is that, and this is what I mean, like this is a part of what I'm talking about in terms of
married.
So a little bit of a spoiler. Well, a little bit of spoiler in the documentary. She said she's married. She married this Canadian dude, and he gets like when I say like he gets like 7 seconds of screen time, I might be being generous. And
yeah, it's like a fraction.
It's like I married this guy, and it's like a profile view that's like a slight profile. You don't even get like it's not like I don't even know if we get to look him square in the eye. But and then she kind of shrugged and goes, see how it goes, see if this one works.
Oh,
she's like, I haven't tried that one yet or something.
It didn't.
It didn't work. No. And she's in the documentary, and so she's trying on dudes like shoes.
His name was Dan Hayhurst, and she was married to him for 2 years.
2 years.
Oh, man.
Like, I think that's the whole thing with her, is that the vibe I get is that she's kind of unreachable, that she's been... So, yes, that she's dating Liam Neeson is perfect. To see how smitten she looks, but I don't know if maybe Liam hasn't seen the doc.
Maybe he's not like...
You might want to see the doc and be like, wow, this girl is like, men are like shoes.
King Gator said she has an excellent PR person. I can't see any celebrity news without thinking about their PR people. She does have an excellent PR person.
That's funny.
I don't see any of the reasons why anybody would criticize her. When I saw her documentary, I was like, this is an extremely likable person.
Yeah, I think she's absolutely awesome.
She's darling.
Absolutely. She's living she's living in my favorite place where I lived for several years, and I think probably were some of the more formative years for me, where I grew incredibly spiritually, and that's Vancouver Island. Mm-hmm. She lives in a place I think called Ladysmith or something. A town I may have driven through. I don't know. Population 9,000, so I probably didn't stop.
I think you have to canoe by it.
Then I haven't. If you got to take any
I don't think you drive through it.
Water.
No, it might be on the coast, like just north of Vancouver, but in that little, what is it called? An inlet? What is it called? Between Vancouver Island and...
Active Pass. There's like an active pass with a bunch of little islands, does that mean?
Yeah.
That's called Active Pass. I think that's what you're referring to anyway. Mm-hmm. It's so beautiful when you sail through it. It's all these little islands. And I've gone through there and seen pods of whales going through there, and eagles and seals and dolphins. And it's just... We should go. It can be so magical. Yeah, I want to live there. It's wonderful.
That sounds
Maybe
awesome.
someday. Maybe someday when I grow up, Dale. Did you know that A24 is making an Anthony Bourdain biopic?
I heard about it. They were talking about the person that we're going to cast for it, and I thought it was really wrong.
Who? They announced another casting. They announced Stavros Halkias rounds out the cast of A24's Anthony Bourdain biopic called Tony. I hate that it's called Tony. Why couldn't they call it Anthony?
There's another one too.
If your name was Anthony, would you shorten it to Tony?
If my name was Anthony?
Yeah.
I might as a joke, but I would definitely go. Anthony's a really beautiful name, so I would probably just go by that.
Just go with Tone.
Tone.
Tony Tone. Wasn't there like a Tony Tone or something? Wasn't there like a rapper? Or
Tony. Yeah, they're awesome.
Is that true?
I won't take any slander from you about Tony on this podcast.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, they want to star Dominic Sezza as Anthony Bourdain.
I gotta go look this up. Dominic Sezza.
Yeah.
Dominic.
There was somebody who proposed another actor that they thought would do better, and he looked exactly like him. So I can't.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, but it's not good either.
He cut his hair, and do you guys know this guy? Do I have to put him on the TV?
I'm old school about this. I feel like if you're going to cast somebody to play a real person who is also a celebrity, they need to look exactly the same.
Well, that's too difficult.
Yeah, but those are my unreasonable demands, and I won't be satisfied unless they're met.
Chalamet didn't look like Bob Dylan.
And did you see me saying it was cool? No, you didn't.
Wasn't there like somebody that they should have cast to play what's her name? English. What kind of fuckery is this?
Oh, yes. Yeah, there is a Amy Winehouse impersonator
who is
exactly
spitting.
Looks exactly like her, moves exactly like her,
Sings
sounds exactly like her. Yeah, and then they made a movie without considering there's so many. There's probably an Anthony Bourdain impersonator out there who would be perfect for the role, and they're just not going to give that guy a shot.
Anthony Bourdain impersonator. He like heard about the.
I know.
He heard about the movie, just hung his head, and I don't know. Sorry, somebody was asking, why are we leaving YouTube, or why are we leaving TikTok? We are leaving TikTok because TikTok is too difficult. I don't think TikTok is very hospitable for our format. It's just being very difficult, and we can't like focus on TikTok as our only platform, which is kind of what TikTok wants us to do. So instead, we're just going to post I'm going to miss you guys, bro. I hope you guys will come over and see us on YouTube, because I really will miss you guys. And YouTube's
links
fun.
in your bio. Everybody should just come over.
Come over, dude.
Come over to our place.
Come over. You can stay overnight.
Okay, well, I have a strange story to share with you.
Did we get all the chats already?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Would you like to hear my story?
Yes, please.
Rhinos.
Rhinos
are still being poached for their tusks. Is that what it's called? Tusk?
Yes.
Horn. Rhino horns.
Yeah.
Okay. These brilliant geniuses who are working on rhino conservation have created an excellent question. Okay. Their question is, what sort of material never makes it through any port, any customs, any airline, anywhere you would try and transmit something illicit? What is the thing that always gets stopped? And how can we make rhino horns more like that?
So like too much liquid in a bottle.
Too much liquid in a bottle, exactly. They're so brilliant that they determined radioactive material never gets through any port of entry ever.
Right.
It's always they test for it reliably. Shit. They find it, they scan it, they they deal with it.
Yeah, no, you can't get through. You would think you can't get through any airport carrying around radioactive material.
So here we
unless you're Spider-Man, maybe.
Maybe. Here we are in the future, where these amazing scientists who are working on rhino conservation are making the rhinoceroses radioactive. It's so great. This guy,
and it's not going to harm it's not going to harm the animal.
No, they're
making just the horn.
Yes, because it's made of keratin, right? It's not. There's no blood vessels.
There's going to be
anything.
like fucking like 6 years. There's going to be like that mutation moment that's going to happen, and we're going to get like a rhino human kind of hybrid situation that is going to be like some shit's going to happen.
I've seen that in a cartoon. I think it was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had one of the thugs was a rhino.
Yeah.
No, but listen. So what they do is they tranquilize the rhino, and then they creep up on it, and then they drill into its horn, and they inject radioactive isotopes into the horn, and then they seal it, and it's forever radioactive, and forever if that rhinoceros gets poached and their horn gets taken, obviously they would lose the rhino, but they'd be able to catch whoever is responsible, because if you can find it at the port of entry, then you can track who it belongs to and try and triangulate from there who is responsible for funding the poaching operation.
Yeah, East Meets West is saying they drill it right into the tusk.
Yep.
Just enough to be detected. Well, that's brilliant. Obviously, it's sad on the one hand because you're like, the one hand is that there's a rhino lost. But yes, snagging these assholes and jailing them. But more importantly, making that product unmarketable.
Well, yeah, and for that reason, it's not a secret. Like, they're telling everybody, like, hey, you're not going to be able to take these horns anywhere. Like, if you come and poach our rhinos, you're not going to be able to carry it out of the country, you know?
I am hoping for a super rhino. I want a fucking absolute jacked up super rhino. Like they were like, we were just putting it into the horn, but we slipped and we got a little in his eye.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden it's like, and all
They interviewed
this.
I want to keep telling the story, but you keep going off. This guy, they interviewed James Larkin. He is the chief scientific officer of the Rhizotope Project, which is what they're calling this.
Rhinotope or
Rhizotope.
Rhizotope.
They're radioactive isotopes that they're putting in rhinos. Rhizotope. He said no one wants a radioactive horn. And so this work is devaluing the horns in the eyes of the poachers and the end users.
Watch PETA try to fucking get in the way now. Don't drill into the horns of a rhino.
This guy from the Rhino Orphanage, he's the managing director and founder. His name's Ari van Deventer. He said, you can't take that horn anywhere. You can't take it through any airport, any harbor, any customs office. The sirens will go off. Haha.
I love it so much.
So great.
Well, especially because like what happens is the first guy that gets busted with it, it's a wrap.
Yep. Scientists are making rhino horns radioactive to fight poaching.
I love it.
I thought that was
super
really
genius.
Neat. This is what it's like to live in the future, you know? Where they can just do that kind of stuff.
Well, this is the future that I like, yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a lot about like, you know, the future that's been pretty fucked up.
Oh yeah, right. Like, you know, why should we be protecting rhinos in the first place?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, like how are we still living in a life? Why is there a market at all for rhino horns?
Right, especially since it's just keratin. It's literally like the same thing as your fingernails. So you could just like collect a bunch of fingernails, and it's the same kind of like ancient, you know, medicine that they're making rhino horns out of.
Did you hear? This is a totally unrelated thing, but this is something I don't want to forget. We might as well get it in. It's not a big deal, but you know Eddie Van Halen?
Yeah.
You know that famous guitar? Mm-hmm. It's his Kramer guitar. It's going up for auction, and I had a fantasy that I was like rich enough that I could buy it and give it to his kid.
Aw.
It's $2 million because they're thinking it's going to fetch $2 million.
Well, if his kid wanted it, why wouldn't he just have it? It belonged to him.
Oh, okay, look, I'm just trying to be sentimental here. You know what I mean?
No, I know, but why does he need like a hero philanthropist to step in and save a guitar?
I didn't say
that is already in his family.
Maybe he's taking the $2 million and he gets the guitar. See what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, right. Maybe.
I'm just saying, like
he could probably
that guitar. You know his son Wolfgang, right? His name is Wolfgang, and he's a musician. He plays. He's quite good. He's a kick-ass. Like he plays more like, I guess like a more thrashier type metal. I heard like a little bit of it, and he can definitely shred. I actually saw him because I saw Van Halen in one of their very last tours with David Lee Roth, reunited with the band.
So you saw Wolfgang?
And they Wolfgang Van Halen, he played Michael Anthony's bass. So like didn't play his bass guitar, but like he replaced Michael Anthony. I think that's the bassist's name. Anyway, yeah, I felt a little sad about it because I forgot that Eddie, you know, sometimes I forget that Eddie Van Halen left so early with fuck cancer, you know?
Yeah.
God, I hate cancer so much. It really does, it does bother me. A little something for Baldoni fans that I think they'll just be really happy about. James Gunn's Superman passes Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool sequel at the domestic box office.
Yeah, well, of course it does.
What bothers me most about this, though, is that James Gunn wrote and directed Superman, and Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool.
Oh, so you're saying that the headline is really problematic? That's really funny that the headline is like featuring Ryan Reynolds as if he's comparable in this headline to James Gunn.
Right, James Gunn is like at a different level entirely.
Did Ryan Reynolds write it?
I don't think so.
Let me see. Now I got to look this up.
He may have produced it. Excuse me.
I have got to.
Sorry.
I admit that I was very surprised that it has been a slow news day, for because the astrology suggests otherwise. That it's been kind of slow for the last few days. I mean, obviously there's horrible things going on in politics, but
yeah. Well, that's where
I thought it was going to be a lot more spicy.
That's all right. You know, we just go with the flow. We're a daily podcast, man. We we get what the world gives us, and we have fun with the people we hang out with, and that's how we do it.
Okay, writers. So Deadpool and Wolverine. That was the last one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a writer, but with like...
No, the second one is the one he's talking about, though.
Ryan Reynolds is a writer, but with like, how many? 5
Loads
others?
Yeah.
And that doesn't even include the original writers. So Deadpool 2 was the last one?
Anyway, I was just like, for the Baldoni fans, they'll be like, yes, see, Ryan Reynolds, you're not the best.
I just don't get that headline. Okay, so he wrote with Paul Wernick, Rhett Reese. Yeah, those are the other 2 writers. So he co-wrote it with 2 other guys.
Oh, that's cool. Well, there you go. What a talented guy. What a talented individual. What an individual that's very talented.
I think he's going to go places.
If he keeps it up.
If he keeps it up.
He could find himself at the top of the heap. It's entirely possible. Do you guys want to get to the top of the heap? I don't want to get to the top of the heap. I don't. I want to get like halfway up the heap. Very comfortable. You can still go out and do things and people leave you the fuck alone. Jennifer Aniston said one of the saddest things I ever heard, if she in fact said this. She said that we'd been mourning Matthew Perry long before his death due to his addiction. And then she said, and this, you just hate to hear, especially for those who survived Matthew Perry, a part of me thinks this is better because he's out of that pain. And I just think, man, that's some dark shit to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't that feel dark to you? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't say that.
If I was like a Matthew Perry sibling or a Matthew Perry whatever, I don't actually know his family structure, but I was in that family structure.
I don't think that that's the sort of thing you're supposed to say.
I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? Did you just say that my brother's better off fucking dead? Is that what you just said?
Well, also, you don't have to like know him that closely to recognize that's
It's called rehab, Jennifer. It's called rehab.
I know.
It's not that difficult of a thing. You
can say to somebody who has been in pain, like, well, now they're at peace, but you can't say that they are in a better place than they were when they were living. I mean, that's like, nobody would say that. That's totally out of hand.
The last thing I have is that James Cameron is warning society. I'll tell you, this is an interesting warning. He's warning, by the way, that
James Cameron is warning
society. He's saying that a Terminator-style apocalypse with AI and weapons is upon us. Like,
we know James Cameron. We know.
It's interesting because
is he taking responsibility for putting these like brain worms and these like?
That's what I'm saying.
These like tech corporate fucking.
They watch Terminator and they're like, I can make one of those.
Fucking power hungry shit for brains.
They're like, it's true if you attach the eye to the. Well, a filmmaker. Filmmakers do this, man. They predict this shit like they do in their films. They're prophetic in many ways because of their research, especially when you're up in the higher end of things. Steven Spielberg's. Did you know that Steven Spielberg is making another Alien movie?
I'm not ready to move on from this.
I'm not. What I'm saying is that these guys, like Steven Spielberg in his Alien movies, and now James Cameron, and James Cameron in his, sci-fi movies, they have access to shit, technology, things that are developing that we just don't simply get.
Oh, you're saying that James Cameron wrote Terminator because he was sure he knew what was going to happen?
I'm saying that he might have...
That it's not a prophecy, that it was like a prediction that was based on like educated information?
I'm saying that there might have been like, they might have been like, sort of a, what do you call those when you have like it's like a plan basically. So they might have looked at like shit where like, hey, this is what we're projected to do in 25 years based on this, that, the other thing that we've been working on, so on and so forth. Sci-fi
authors have been doing this for a really long time. Like, have you guys heard about Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower?
Yeah.
Is like...
It's now, right? It's 2025.
It's such a clear prediction
of
where we're... Like, it's so obvious. She predicts so much. She wrote that in the 80s, I think?
Yeah.
It's really, really uncanny.
It's so sad about her because she's this brilliant writer who's considered... She actually... she actually became a New York Times bestseller. One of the first to do so, or one of the few to do so posthumously. This is the sad part because I'd stumbled upon, she had these, I guess, a diary or something, and in it she had all these affirmations, these manifestations of what she was going to be as a writer, which was New York Times bestseller, USA Today bestseller. She was going to sell...
Octavia Butler.
Yeah, and she had like a certain number of copies of the book that she was going to sell.
Yeah, she was like a prophet.
And it didn't happen.
But it did.
It did, but after her death.
Yes.
So this is the weirdest part. Is like, you know,
she manifested that shit.
One of the things she said that she was going to be was this like important person of color, like that she was going to like open the doors for people of color, and that she was, and that is true, and that happened in her lifetime. So she got recognized by,
amazing.
I can't remember which of the organizations it was, but one of the major organizations dedicated to recognizing people of color and their achievements in a world where.
But I wanted to remind you of something that I showed you about. You were talking about James Cameron. I'm sorry, I'm a little fatigued today.
Come on.
I had a really rough day.
Come on.
James Cameron was predicting our present hellscape. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember a few months ago where I showed you that scientists in a laboratory had successfully created like a molten metal that was able to like walk through barriers? Do you remember this?
Oh yes.
Did I show you the
That's
video?
That's some straight up. Isn't that Abyss? That's the Abyss.
No, it's Terminator 2.
That is Terminator.
Terminator 2,
Yeah.
where the cop Terminator just walks straight through the bars. Remember that?
I do.
And his body like turns to molten metal and like morphs around the bars.
Yes.
Yeah, they created that in a laboratory. Like it's actually a thing now.
Oh my god, dude.
It's horrifying.
That's why a lot of
As soon
people
as I
think
saw that video, I was like, we have to make it stop.
That's why a lot of people think the whole UFO phenomenon isn't, that it is just this
Advanced
technology from governments, and that they're hiding it. Which
knows, man?
Which I kind of buy and do not buy. Although, do you remember the drones in New Jersey? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
There was this period where people were frightened to death because they had these car-sized drones, small bus-sized or truck-sized drones in their neighborhoods above their houses.
I thought we learned exactly what that was.
No, there is no.
I think I read. Somebody had an explanation. It made a lot of sense.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
So now this was prior to Donald Trump being reelected, and during his campaign, he said that he's like, somebody knows, they know, and I'm going to tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. I'm going to find out what it is. I'm going to disclose this to you when I get into office. And they had continued for a very long period of time. And I don't know if you've seen any of the footage, but it was wild footage. Like, it was like, what the actual fuck? And people were coming, and they were like, whenever any kind of helicopter, any kind of other drone from, local government or wherever would come and try to approach them, they would whiz away like that. It was wild. So Donald Trump did come out, but he said he knows what they are, but says that he can't tell us what they are, but that it's nothing to worry about. It's not a big deal. That's basically his disclosure.
Yeah, there were a bunch of port security guys who went online and were telling everybody that they are sweeper drones because they believe that some sort of package that was radioactive or something was misplaced, and so they had to find it.
That would be a big deal.
That would be a big deal, and one of the things that's really interesting is that the authorities knew what it was, but they couldn't tell anybody. They couldn't even suggest that they knew, because then people would be like, well, what are you keeping from us? But they didn't want to create panic in such a hugely densely populated area.
Yeah.
They wanted everybody to stay at home in this, like, evidently what was dangerous. Some dangerous.
If this is the case.
Right.
If the case is that they're literally trying to find a bomb.
But it makes a lot of sense that the authorities, especially in this current time, in this country, the way that things are being run, that they would be like, no, let's just let people stay at their homes instead of trying to organize, like, such a massive evacuation effort. We're just going to fly these drones around and try and find this thing as fast as we can. And after a few weeks, they did, and they stopped. Anyway,
is this, is it technology? We don't know. Like, is it just, because the weirdest part about it is, like, it doesn't seem to be. Like, from what I've been able to glean, the United States government has confirmed non-human intelligence to be present and on a consistent basis in our skies and are all around us. But I am someone who leans toward the theory that this is a subterranean, in the ocean, ocean-dwelling advanced society, like an Atlantis type society. They stay the fuck away from us because we're absolutely mental.
Like how orcas don't harm humans in the ocean. And they think
they know that the hunt will come.
They think the reason why is because they know we're dangerous and that we're vindictive, that we're vengeful.
That's why they're just fucking with the boats and stuff.
Yeah, they're like, you can't harm one of those though; they'll come after us. Meaning us. Something's
up, dude. Anyway, James Cameron is telling us He's telling us to watch out because the police force, it's interesting, the police and all these this bullshit with the police. That is like, talk about like AI taking over jobs, bro. That's going to be a wrap. Dude, well, you didn't put any human in harm's way when you can just put a robot. Not only that, but a robot won't second guess you. A robot's going to obey your orders, whatever they may be.
It's creepy.
I got to get the fuck out of here, bro. I need to go to I need to find I don't know, like a place where there's no one, where I can't like take over or like fuck up some indigenous like area, and I just need to go live remotely somewhere and just forget everything and just learn how to fish. I'm gonna be that guy in Alaska that died because he ate the potato seeds. Did you see that movie? We've got to see that movie, Into the Wild.
Yes, his name was Candless. I can't remember his first name. Okay,
I believe R.D. Rob's wife produced that.
I think this dog is like, are you guys just gonna sit here and talk, or are you gonna do something?
Like, let's do something.
So bored.
Oh, by the way, I did see something else. Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris, claims that the lawyers skimmed millions of dollars.
Oh, I bet.
Off of his estate, taking these lavish legal fees.
I bet.
And she puts them out. There was a picture of her. Holy shit.
What?
This woman is stunning.
Oh, yeah.
Like staggering. Like, it's wild.
Okay, but what does that have to do with the lawyers?
I was just shocked because I hadn't seen her. I think the last time I saw her, she was just a child. Mm-hmm. And now she's this grown woman who is absolutely staggeringly beautiful. She's fighting for her father's. I guess she's going to try and bring these lawyers to justice and say, you guys have been stealing from my pops, and that's my money now.
I hope she wins.
Give it up.
When is this new? Has this just happened?
This was.
I'd like to follow that.
I meant to. Yeah, we should follow this. This was over the weekend, I think.
Oh, King Gator corrected me. Thank you, Chris McCandless. He's the guy who got himself stuck where he didn't have any food in Alaska.
Oh, this is the one. Is that the one that they made?
Into the Wild, yeah.
Oh, that's Into the Wild, yeah.
Yeah, that was a Krakauer book. No, Krakauer. Fuck, I can't remember anybody's names.
And they
Into the Wild was an amazing.
That author came back later and said, because they figured it out, he died from eating potato seeds.
John Krakauer, yes. Into the Wild. He died eating poisonous seeds that he had foraged. I don't know if they were potato seeds, but I think that's what everybody recognized.
I believe they were potato seeds, but I could be wrong. Best friend Hugo on TikTok is asking for our thoughts on Perez Hilton. Do you have any thoughts on Perez Hilton, Angela?
I think that it would be nice if nobody had thoughts about Perez Hilton.
That's pretty much my thought too.
I think that he's like long overdue for becoming completely irrelevant.
I just see him as a desperate, like a guy just desperately trying to be relevant by, creating whatever controversy he can around every corner. He only knows controversy.
I think there's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm not like a professional or anything of anything, but and I can't psychoanalyze anybody. But there was something so strange about the way that he was writing to Judge Liman. He was writing these really sassy letters. And I don't know, okay, Perez Hilton, obviously, he's a businessman. He has been in business for himself for decades.
Yeah.
And he has been negotiating and doing business. Like, he's a professional person. And I don't know how you would not know to not speak in such a disrespectful manner to a federal judge. Like, he got sanctioned for it, but he was obviously just trying to farm content and create like rage bait or whatever to use on his channel because he's trying to be relevant.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's some, how sometimes you hear about somebody who gets like bonked on the head real bad.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden their personality changes.
Yes.
Or that they simply lose inhibition. So if they feel like an impulse to react,
sometimes they just turn 40.
That's all that it takes.
Sometimes.
I see people who behave in public the way that Perez Hilton has been behaving in a lot of the I mean, I haven't followed him for forever. I was never really interested in the first place. It's just you were kind of forced to. But then he became totally irrelevant, and now he's like back in irrelevance because we're following this Blake Lively.
I mean, if you say so,
conflict.
I don't think he's all that relevant at all. I think he's obviously getting attention, and I'm sure he's enjoying it once again. But it's going to be short lived. I think a lot of these influencers, so-called influencers, are barking up a very short-lived kind of fame. I think. Whatever. We'll see how it lasts.
I agree with you, but you know that it's kind of like a new phenomenon because we're all carrying around cameras. But have you ever seen those videos where like a Karen or somebody will pull out their camera and then they'll get in somebody's face and like try and confront them about it, but they're making their own content while they're doing it?
Yeah.
There's something in their head that makes them want to act outrageously, completely contradictory to any of our like social norms, and they think that it's benefiting them somehow. Like they think that if they put themselves out there and they're like being confrontational, that it'll somehow look good. And I just feel like these people have like a fucking screw loose. Like there's something really strange about being so like making such obvious social errors and not realizing that you're the one that looks bad. That's how I feel about Perez Hilton. So I feel like it's a little weird to talk about him or even criticize what he does because I feel like there's something wrong with him. It kind of feels a little bit like punching down. Like I feel like he needs help.
Maybe. I think he's put himself in his own position.
He acts so bizarrely. I just don't feel like it's normal.
I'm not a big fan of the guy. You know what? I love what East Meets West said. He said that he was relevant and irrelevant all at once. It's a really true evaluation of him.
Yeah, well, he was infamous, and nobody wanted to hear anything he had to say anymore. So everybody knew him from. But he was
infamy. It was such a craze because he had this really smart hook, right? Perez Hilton, and it was at the peak of Paris Hilton and Nicole, whatever her last name was, Richie.
Mm-hmm. Lionel Richie's kid.
Lionel Richie's kid. Nancy's asking a question. She says, "Any thoughts on the Taylor Swift Kelsey New Heights collaboration podcast?" It's just
you
amazing.
And me were doing this before it was cool, okay?
Yeah, it's
see, Dale. Everybody just wants to copy the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah. I influenced Taylor Swift, and it's kind of what I do on my part-time job. No, obviously that's not true. How do I feel about it? I think it's great. Yeah, congratulations to them. I mean, they're obviously madly in love. It looks like they're going to get married. She's going to get in between the brothers now, and
she's like going to be their Yoko Ono on their podcast.
There's like home wreckers, or she's like a family wrecker. She's just going in there. She's like, Jason's irrelevant. I'm the relevancy now. No, I kid, of course, because I love Taylor Swift. I'm completely mad for her work. Absolutely love and adore her. Also, from what I can glean from her as a human being, I admire her greatly. So I kid Tay, as I call her.
Taylor's a Swiftie.
But I do think that that's really cool. If she ever wants to come and do a spot on our podcast, we could probably fit her in. I don't know. We could try, get her in. If she likes podcasts, maybe we could collab. It's wonderful, man. We'll
do a double date. We'll have them both on the podcast. It'll be like a double date.
I feel like Taylor Swift, I just wonder, when does it stop with her? She has the world's biggest tour. She raises hundreds of millions of dollars, sufficient enough to be able to, or tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars, sufficient enough to purchase her $360 million library back for her own possession. She is directing, or has directed, and is in the middle of, I suppose, posting them, or I don't know, a movie, a feature film, her directorial debut in a feature film.
No way.
Yes, she's doing that right now. And she just fucking announced a new album.
Where does she find the time?
She obviously does not use a mortar and pestle. She doesn't. She does not hand grind her coffee.
Dale uses a mortar and pestle every morning to hand grind and microplane the spices that he puts in our morning oatmeal.
I sure do. I'm not trying to one up Taylor, because she's got somebody to do it for her. And you know what? If I could have somebody, your job, mortar and pestle, and it better be like dust. It better be like dust. No chunky cinnamon.
You get like a little cinnamon shard, and you're like, if you got
spit it out and fire him on the spot.
You want it done right, you got to do it yourself.
You're fired. And I was gonna give you a retirement. Not now.
when Dale wins the lottery, he's not going to tell anybody, but there will be signs.
I already won the lottery, dude. She's sitting right over there talking back at me, man. I won the lottery of life.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez, Wiz.
You're swell.
I'm pretty swell.
That made me blush.
I
want to sign off now.
Have you watched any of that Jason Kelsey?
Me?
And yeah, the Kelsey brothers. Have you ever watched that?
I do not care.
I watched a little bit. I didn't really love it.
I wish
they have
them
this
the best,
one segment that I really loved called "No Dumb Questions, No Stupid Questions" or something, which is actually a sub on Reddit. It's one of my favorite subs because like sometimes the questions are so dumb. But that's their angle on it. At least that's what I gleaned from the one episode I did watch, which I really liked that segment. But you know, I mean, I'm not a big like sports podcast guy. And I don't know if it was for me, but I hope that, you know, that collaboration works for them. I think that's kind of, it's sort of a real left field, you know?
Is it? Why?
Taylor Swift
collaborating
with a sports podcast is a little left field for me. Like coming out of left field. She makes everything fucking work.
You know, she's actually dating one of the guys on the podcast, right?
Who? Jason's married, so it must be.
So why is it out of left field?
Well, because I'm talking about like what are they going to talk about? They're going to talk about sports, and I mean, I'm sure it's going to be very entertaining. I'm probably going to watch it because I like Taylor Swift so much.
What does anybody talk about? You know,
I don't know. You know, she's a competitor. I have to think this whole thing through. You know, before it was just me and Taylor. I was the fan, she was the artist, but now we're competitors. By the way, speaking of competitors, I'm giving away 5 free books signed by yours truly.
When?
As soon as we hit 500 followers on TikTok, on YouTube. And I'm, you know, because, you know, we're obviously, you know, very much competitive with Tay-Tay. Let me see where we're at. I don't even know where we're at. We could be at 500. And if we are, then I'm going to start giving them away. Let me see. Your channel. Do your channel.
I think we do have to sign off soon because this dog here is.
We're at 501.
Oh, really?
You guys are amazing. Holy shit. All right. So tomorrow, everybody should come by YouTube tomorrow because I'm going to give away 5 books tomorrow. And if I can't give away 5 books, I'm going to be real fucking embarrassed. And I say that's Can't Miss TV. Either way.
But no TikTok tomorrow.
We will not be on TikTok tomorrow. I am so sad to sign off on TikTok. We might come back again and visit periodically and just do maybe we'll do a weekly one. I'll figure it out and see if there's something I can do with TikTok. But I need to get focused on this because we have a lot of people who I consider a lot of people who are coming by and giving us a lot of love. And I really want to focus on making sure that we're delivering the stuff that we, you know, that we think is going to be, you know, both entertaining and enjoyable and, you know, all that stuff. So, but we are going to be, by the way, on TikTok. So if you're not going to come over and see us on YouTube, we are going to be posting our content. So I will absolutely be jumping into those comments. So please stop by and say hello on those content. So don't drop us because I'm going to continue making content.
Yeah.
So don't leave us. We're staying. We're just not going to be doing the lives because they're just too difficult to technically pull off.
This isn't goodbye.
So it's not goodbye.
It's until next time.
We'll see you in the chats. We'll see you in the chats. And, you know, again, we'll see. Maybe there'll be a weekly live or something. I don't know how this is going to work, but it breaks my heart. I don't want to leave. There's so many people on TikTok that I have just come to adore. You guys know who you are. If you don't, the gods do. Thank you so much for a wonderful evening. I know that so there you go. I mean, we got through it technically, no problem, it seems.
Yep.
So I think we're, you know, sort of, and this was kind of the problem is that we were crashing and burning because I was trying to, the whole time that we were having all these problems and we were crashing and burning, mm-hmm. I had this hardware issue, but the big issue was that I was trying to get these 2 streams out at the same time and I was just killing everything. And so now, you know, now we're able to do it without too many technical glitches. So really do appreciate you so much. I hope you'll join us again tomorrow. And if you're on TikTok, please come by and see us on YouTube. But if you can't do that, be sure to look for our content. We'll be posting soon. I'm not going to be posting right away, but I will be posting very soon, hopefully in the next week. I've just got some gear to come in and before I can actually turn out the content that I want for you guys. You are the best. Stay the best. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, Angela.
Good night, Dale.
Good night, you guys.